of the real campaign. He has served 7 terms in Congress. His wife, Jana, is a former Washington lawyer. They have 3 young kids. Ryan's 42. And guess what? That's the same age as Mitt Romney's oldest son. Paul Ryan is now on the ticket with Mitt Romney on the Republican side here. So Jason Johnson is here. He's a political science professor, and he's consulted on campaigns for both parties.
Yes.
Very interesting to know. So if you were consulting this campaign, would you say, oh, right, you just made a big game changer move? You say no. You don't believe that?
No, this is not a game changer at all.
Why not?
This is well, because Paul Ryan's not that exciting. I mean, he's actually a very smart selection for Mitt Romney. If you're running for president, you pick your VP to help you in Washington, not to get to Washington. And so he's going to know Congress. He's going to help Mitt Romney out. He's got that sort of Adrian Brody, young guy look thing that works for him, but he's not going to change the election at all.
Okay, but isn't he a game changer, especially when it comes to the economy, the talk about Medicare and his proposals that some will say, oh, that's radical, depending on which side you're on?
Well, see, that's the issue. He's not going to change anything for Democrats. There's not one person in America who woke up and said, you know what, oh, now that Paul Ryan's on the ticket, I'm going to vote for Mitt Romney. It's kind of like, look, when you go to a concert, you're going to see Beyonce, not the opening act. Okay, we're still looking at what's going on with Romney and Obama. Paul Ryan doesn't change a thing.
Got ya. Okay, I see your view on that then. So if you could complete the sentence, Paul Ryan is what to Mitt Romney's what?
He is sort of a not as exciting Robin to Alfred, okay? Because Mitt Romney is not really Batman. He's kind of the old patrician Alfred. And, you know, but Paul Ryan does bring a little bit of energy to the campaign. But again, you know, Mitt Romney has to remind himself, oh, wait, I need to be as exciting as Paul Ryan. And Paul Ryan has to remind Mitt, you have to engage people like I do.
Okay, but when it comes to a swing state and swing voters, For instance, you have Romney going to Florida today, a big swing state, and the Medicare issue is likely to come up because you have very strong older voters there. How big of an issue will that be?
The Democrats are loving this. The Democrats are high-fiving themselves right now because they think that they can focus on the economy in a bad way. They can say, look, Paul Ryan's plan is basically send grandma to a home and sell the family farm. And so Romney is going to Florida right now to remind people, no, he's a nice guy. He still cares about you. His plans aren't that radical. So it could be a problem for them down the road, but right now it's an introduction in a key swing state.
You know, I like to focus on people in addition to politics. So who's Paul Ryan, the guy, and how does he strike you?
He strikes me as a real natural guy. I mean, you know, he's a bow hunter, which I thought was actually very cool. It's actually one of the 2 pieces of legislation he's actually passed. He seems really comfortable with himself. He came bounding out with a great deal of energy. He's friendly. People get along with him. I mean, I think he's a selection. He'd be a wonderful nominee for the Republicans in 2016 if they don't win this time. But I think he's the kind of person that the GOP has been needing on the national stage.
Okay, Jason, appreciate you. Thank you. So who exactly is Paul Ryan? Well, the congressman has served 7 terms in Congress. His wife, Jana, is a former Washington lobbyist. They have 3 young children. Ryan, who you see on the screen, is 42. That's the same age, by the way, as Mitt Romney's oldest son. So Jason Johnson is here, and he's way younger than that. He's a political science professor, and he has consulted on campaigns actually for both parties here. So with your consultant thinking cap on here, I tell you, you said earlier that you pick a Veep candidate based on what they can do for you once you become president.
Exactly.
So on that note, how does Paul Ryan compare to Joe Biden?
Well, they do the same thing. You know, Barack Obama had only been in Washington for about 15 minutes, so he needed Joe Biden to tell him, look, where's the closet, where's the bathroom, how does Congress really work? Mitt Romney's not from Washington either, so he picked a young, spry guy who can lead him around Congress and help him pass legislation if he becomes president. Okay,
so a lot of attention, though, will be on Paul Ryan's plans for Medicare, which have been controversial, according to some. But in reality, why so much attention on them? I mean, he's the Veep candidate, not the presidential candidate. That would never happen. Would that ever come to pass?
Well, here's the thing. Barack Obama wants any attack he can get. And so whatever you can find about a particular candidate, when Joe Biden was picked by Obama, the Republicans thought, oh, he's a gaffe machine. He's going to say bad things. Whatever is sort of the main issue with that VP, that's what the other party is going to attack. And they think the budget will work against Paul Ryan.
Okay, now we focus on the people, not just the politics. So what have you learned about Paul Ryan, the guy, and how's that strike you?
Here's a contrast between him and Joe Biden. Joe Biden's the kind of guy who would be in a bar, tell you to step outside, punch you in the nose, and bring you back in and buy you a beer, okay? Paul Ryan is the kind of guy who would calm those two down and say, I'll buy a beer for both of you, don't fight, okay? He's much calmer, he's a reasonable guy, he's really friendly. So the debate's going to be fascinating because you've got this pugnacious Joe Biden, this sort of younger, calmer guy to really debate the issues.
Oh, you know, it really may draw a big contrast between them as people then, not just politicians.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, I appreciate you. It's always interesting to, see what you're thinking, especially since you've consulted for both sides here.
Thank you.